For me, in my life, most of the things that has happened for me was because of my relationships with other people. And I've been very fortunate as far as that's concerned.
Well, your reputation is worth more than $9,000, so that's good to take away from that. Take us
Yeah.
back to your very first deal in real estate. So you said you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it kind of shifted the way you were looking at things, and you were getting bored running the salon. You guys sold it, exited. How did you get into real estate? What did you do? What did it look like that very first
Yeah,
deal?
man. At that time, I did not sell it. I mean, I was in, still running the salon. We had, a GM and all that stuff running it. But I, was dabbling. I signed up to a franchise, right? Thinking that was going to expedite my learning curve. And so I remember the first deal. It was a complete cluster. I had zero idea what I was doing. I don't care how much they try to force feed you. You're not going to learn until you really, get in the trenches. And truthfully, I never really have been in a sales position before. So to sit there and to be in that kind of situation, not really knowing what I know, not knowing what I was supposed to know or whatever, um, I was unbelievably uncomfortable. I remember that. I was very uncomfortable talking to the seller, and they agreed on a price, and I couldn't believe it, truthfully. And I brought the actual contract to my mentor at that time, and I sold it for $1,000. And now I laugh. I mean, because he took advantage of me, truthfully, man. But I didn't know any better, and I knew he took advantage of me at that time. Truthfully, I knew he did because right afterwards I had another opportunity to sell it for more, and but once I committed, then that was it. I wanted to maintain obviously the relationship, and so I sold that for $1,000 on my very first deal.
So, so that was a wholesale deal, right? For 1,000
It was a
bucks.
wholesale deal. Yeah. Well, they told me that I should wholesale my first 10 deals. I think I wholesaled the first two or three, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and kind of dive into the flip stuff.
That's funny. That my first wholesale deal is the same way. My mentor, I sold it to him, took $1,000 assignment fee because I just kind of wanted to see how the process worked. And then
Yeah.
looking back, I was like, oh, that was silly.
It was. I mean, with the sad part is I had an offer like the very next day from a neighbor who I should have talked to in the beginning, right? And they
Mhm.
were going to offer me like $10,000, and at that time, like $10,000 was such a quick transaction. I was like, oh my gosh, right? And then of course I talked to my mentor about it. He's like, hey, listen, we had a deal, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. We had a deal. So it is
Yeah,
what it
I
is.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, a 10x profit, but you stuck to your guns, and you're a relationship guy. You held your word. That's pretty honorable.
I mean, it is what I think for me in my life. Most of the things that has happened for me was because of my relationships with other people, right? And
Mhm.
I've been very fortunate as far as that's concerned.
Yeah. Well, your reputation is worth more than $9,000, so that's good to take away from that.
For sure, man.